Hi, I'm Aaron Bartholomew from DeployPartners, and today I'm here to talk with Richard Wilkins. He's an IBM Distinguished Engineer and member of the IBM Garage for Cloud and Solution Engineering. Really impressive title, and one that seems to cover a wide range of technology. So, Richard, let's start off with a brief introduction so people can understand your role better.
Thanks, Aaron. Yeah, so as introduced, my name is Richard Wilkins. I am based in Singapore. I've been with IBM for 33 years now. I know it doesn't look like it, but I have. I am a distinguished engineer and I work in the IBM Garage. And my role is to help customers through operational transformations and to work with the IT teams to be able to go through and deploy AI solutions into their organizations.
Thanks, Richard. So we've been discussing with a couple of our customers, Paul from Vocus and Matt from Bendigo Telco, and they highlighted in their digital transformation goals about improving serviceability, reducing operational costs, and support for new technologies. How does the IBM solution address these challenges?
So what we did is we went out and rather than trying to come to market with a product and then trying to find a solution for it, we went out and asked multiple stakeholders within many of our large customers around the world what some of the problems that they were facing. So we approached both CIOs and the operations teams. And of course, each of them came back with wildly different answers. The CIOs were kind of worried about speed of innovation and the effect that it had on stability of the systems. And they were also struggling to cope with the scale and complexity of some of the systems. The operations teams, on the other hand, had an overwhelming disparate set of tools, which in most cases gave an inconsistent set of information and contributed to an exponential growth in the data that they were struggling to sift through. They were also struggling with burnout. Most of their critical skills was in just a few staff members, and they needed to rapidly skill up some junior members.
Okay, thanks for that. I'll move on to, I guess, still very related, but the challenges around multi-vendor solutions, and in particular for our operational teams. I'm wondering how you solve for the lack of that end-to-end visibility, also near real-time root cause, and just the technology silos and integrations of multiple platforms.
Yeah, so it sounds a bit funny because I'm a vendor and I'm about to talk about how to avoid vendor lock-in, and I think that's exactly the question that you're asking and the problem that most customers are struggling with. But through the acquisition of Red Hat and IBM being one of the largest contributors to open source, that's exactly what you're doing. You're avoiding vendor lock-in. You're coming to provide solutions which are actually compatible across multiple silos and multiple areas of the business. So yeah, through the use of open source, especially some of the Red Hat products that we're coming to market, actually enable us and customers to do and achieve a multi-vendor solution. Also, what we tend to do, and if we talk about problem resolution in real time, we go through and we use artificial intelligence and we infuse it into particular areas of the business. In particular, incident is the one which is foremost of top of mind for a lot of the operations teams. And we infuse particular AI models into the incident management process. What we're trying to do is set a baseline and inference when there's a problem and detect in real time when we actually deviate from the baseline. And this is very different from the traditional way of monitoring, where I pick 10, 12 KPIs, I set a metric, I set a value for those metrics, and then I deploy them as a monitor. So that's a very different paradigm, different thought process. The way that we do it is we use AI models to do some deep learning, and they come in and understand the way that the systems are behaving. They set a baseline, and then we can detect in real time if the behavioral patterns of the systems deviate from the baseline. So we are detecting problems much earlier in the cycle and reducing MTTR significantly.
Thanks for that. It's an interesting one. It's a discussion that we have with a lot of clients around AI and changing the speak into just natural language, so that I think it's so vastly coined, AI, we can do everything, it's all magical. So it's good to hear it in just layman's terms. I want to now ask about our customers and seeking to leverage automation. And what we've heard is that, they're on that journey for full service orchestration as part of that digital transformation. What's your experience been in delivering the automation, and I guess a little bit more into the service orchestration journey in general?
Yeah, so I'm actually pleased you mentioned natural language processing as part of the lead into this, because that's exactly what we do, and that's exactly the benefit that we're bringing here, right? We use natural language processing to understand the problem, to look at what is happening, and then to go around and determine if we've seen anything like this in the past before, right? And then if we have, what did we do to fix it last time? And then if there's automation in place, run the automation, or provide a set of recommendations for the operations teams to then go and run the automation. So the biggest problem and challenges that customers will face is, what is it that I need to do to fix it? Through the use of natural language processing and deep learning and the ability to understand the problem, we can then very quickly provide a set of recommendations of which automation to run, and then if you allow it, to actually go and run the automation to fix the problem.
Excellent. That's all that I had for you today, Richard, but thanks for your time, and that's all.
Thanks, Aaron. It's been a blast. We should do it again.